Mark, big breaking news coming in at this moment. The Supreme Court has struck down Section 66A of the Information Technology Act. The Supreme Court says that it finds this section too vague and violative of 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. So it's a big victory for free speech for the petitioners and also for internet users at large. The Section 66A, which was used, abused by various people, and a lot of people were charged under this section. That particular provision of the IT Act has been struck down. It is invalid, and all those people who have been charged under that section are now not guilty. Jugal Purohit joins us from outside the Supreme Court. Jugal, this is a huge verdict as far as the Supreme Court is concerned.
That's correct, Sanket. This is perhaps music to the ears, if I can say, to many people who are petitioning, who are fighting, who are clamoring for an ad hoc, so to say, section like 66A to be disbanded, and that's what the Supreme Court has done. If the proceedings which were culminated and the order reserved on the 26th of February earlier this year was any indication to go by, the Supreme Court has actually used the very same words that it had used while expressing its observations. It said that it found this extremely vague, these provisions. It also said that it had found that these sections were easily prone to abuse and misuse, precisely what we've been reporting on headlines today. The incident since 2012, ever since Bal Thackeray's death, and that Facebook post lit the fire in a sense, and the manner in which extremely untrained and ill-mannered decisions of the police and prosecuting authorities came under the scrutiny by several courts in several parts of the country. It's not just the Supreme Court. All of it today stands completely, ripped apart. There is no Section 66A, so all of those who've been charged under it will obviously find themselves completely free of all the proceedings. Conviction, of course, is too far a point. There will be no proceedings against them. But, Sanket, a very important point right now remains, and this is the point that the Additional Solicitor General Mehta had raised while the arguments were on. He said that the vast cyberspace needs regulation, the vast cyberspace needs a little bit of policing to ensure, that blasphemous and derogatory content is regulated. The Supreme Court also, in a sense, had asserted itself with that thought when it said that if you are to call for a striking down of 66A, then in what way will you police whatever is required to be policed? This is a very important question that now remains to be answered. We'll have to wait and watch for the entire ruling, the written order of the Supreme Court to come about. Also, what we are awaiting, Sanket, are a plethora of petitions, not just on 66A, but on several other sections of the Information Technology Act of 2000. These petitions, these issues were challenging censorship. These issues were challenging the pre-screening of content by mediums like YouTube, by media like YouTube and Facebook. There were several other dealing with blocking of sites, for example. All of it, the Supreme Court has to decide. And yes, for now, what we can tell our viewers is Section 66A is now gone. It's history. Back to you.
Absolutely, and means a lot for free speech on the internet at this moment. But the crucial point that you actually mentioned, Jugal, is the fact that the Supreme Court also feels that there is definitely a need of regulation on the internet. I'll come across to Sanjay Hegde in just a short moment. We have Nabi Vijay Kumar, a cyber expert, joining us at this moment. Mr. Vijay Kumar, your initial reaction to this Supreme Court verdict?
Yeah, I'm Vijay Shankar. Fine. See, this particular decision has been perhaps welcomed by many people as a vindication of their demand for free speech. But what we need to remember is that the controversy started with the abuse of powers by the police, probably with a misunderstanding of the provisions of law. Actually, this law was neither meant to curb free speech nor to address issues of defamation. Police repeatedly made mistakes, and what we are seeing today is a victory for the ignorance and inefficiency of the police. And in the bargain, what has happened is that this particular section was also providing protection against cyber crimes such as cyber bullying, cyber stalking, phishing, and now those provisions also have been removed. So I am personally not very much impressed with the developments.
No, Mr. Vijay Kumar, but the point is that this law was being misused. It was being misused by various governments, by various agencies, by the police force, and almost resulted in witch hunting. And that is why the Supreme Court observed and in fact decided what it did.
Yeah, the misuse should be attributed to politicians and the police, not to the law. And this misuse will continue whether Section 66A is removed or is continues to be present. Because some of the provisions which people are talking of as vague, this kind of provisions are there in many other laws. I don't know why people have picked out the Information Technology Act alone as something which has all the draconian provisions.
Right. Thanks, Mr. Vijay Kumar. We are also joined in by Aseem Trivedi. Remember, he had also posted certain cartoons which drew a lot of criticism. Can you hear me, Mr. Trivedi?
जी जी बताइए।
आज ये जो वर्डिक्ट आया है सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, इसके बारे में आपको क्या कहना है?
मुझे लगता है ये बड़ी जीत है फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच की कहें इस देश में, क्योंकि बहुत लंबे समय से ऐसी घटनाएं घटती थी, उससे बहस होती थी पर कोई नतीजा नहीं निकलता था। तो मुझे लगता है पहली बार है कि कोर्ट ने एक संबल दिया है लोगों को और ये विश्वास दिया है कि वो वाकई में आजाद है कुछ भी कहने के लिए, कुछ भी बोलने के लिए जो ठीक समझते हैं वो। और सिर्फ ऑनलाइन स्पेस की नहीं, मैं कहूँगा फ्री स्पीच की बहुत बड़ी जीत है, क्योंकि ऑनलाइन स्पेस ही एकमात्र माध्यम है लोगों के पास अपने फ्री स्पीच का इस्तेमाल करने का। तो 66 ने काफी हद तक उसे छीन लिया था लोगों से और ये स्थिति आ गई कि कभी भी वो गिरफ्तार हो सकते हैं, कभी भी उन्हें लंबे लंबे मुकदमों में पड़ना पड़ सकता है और वो कोई नहीं चाहता था। अभी हाल ही में विकेश महापात्रा को डिसीजन आया था इसका कि सरकार को मुआवजा देना चाहिए, जिस तरह उन पर 66 से लगाई गई उन्हें हैरत किया गया। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत बड़ी जीत है। बहुत से लोगों को जिनको अब तक ये संदेश गया था कि मतलब जो काफी डरे हुए थे उनको राहत पहुंचेगी और आगे से मिसयूज नहीं होगा, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है।
ठीक है, Aseem Trivedi, many thanks for joining us at this moment. It's time for us to take a short break. But before we do that, just a quick word from you, Sanjay Hegde. The Supreme Court, and we here at Headlines Today are going to report the whole fact. The Supreme Court, while it has struck down Section 66A of the Information Technology Act, has also said that there is a need for internet regulation.
Well, that is what your correspondent is reporting.
Yeah.
We shall have to wait for the full verdict. It's open to any government, after a section has been struck down, to bring in some alternative law. They don't need the Supreme Court's permission for that. If that law is unconstitutional, the Supreme Court will again strike it down. But what the Supreme Court has also done is it has upheld 69A and the blocking rules.
Okay.
It has also read down 79(3)(b), but it has said that in case you need to take content off the net, you need a court order. You cannot arbitrarily decide it yourself. So what it has essentially done is to take away draconian powers and their implementation away from the policemen and preserve it where it can be reasonably used.
Okay, and argued also in a court of law.
Absolutely.
All right, so these are significant developments, these nuances, these finer points we are going to discuss in greater detail.